Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Here we are again. We are going to continue with the run on sentences with method 4 using dependent words such as when, because, although, if, unless, before, after, when to correct run on sentences and make complex or compound complex sentences. For example, Ahmed came late to class. Space. He apologized to his teacher. The baby has cried for a long time. Space. He has been hungry. The student needs to use a dependent word to combine together the ideas of the two independent clauses fused sentences. The example sentences express reason and result. Therefore, the students need to use the dependent word that expresses and combines reason and result. The student may use because, since, or as. For example, because Ahmed came late to class, he apologized to his teacher. This sentence, has reason and result ideas. The other one, the baby has stopped crying when he has seen his mother. Here we need a word of time because this sentence has 2 points of time. So we are going to use when. When the student adds the dependent word to the first independent clause, it changes to a dependent clause. Also, since the dependent clause precedes the independent clause, it is followed by a comma. But if it is after the independent clause, the comma is not needed. And we can see this in the examples. As you see, sentence 1, because Ahmed came late to class, this is the dependent clause, and it precedes the main clause. It needs and it takes a comma. Now look at the other one. The baby has stopped crying. This is the main clause. Okay, the dependent clause, when he has seen his mother, here it doesn't take a comma. Okay, following this is an exercise to apply method 4, which you have just learned for correcting run-on sentences. The student need to fill in the blank spaces with dependent words in order to make complex sentences and correct run-on clauses. So this is part 1 of the run-on sentences. In fact, now we are going to move to part 2 of the run-on sentences, which is the comma splices. Again, we have another run-on mistake called comma splices. A comma splice happens when two independent clauses are connected together with a comma only. We see this example. Ali is smart. He gets high marks. We see these independent clauses, and we see that only the comma connects these two clauses. By the way, in Arabic, we can do that. We can use a comma to connect two independent clauses, but in English, we can't do that. For this reason, to correct a comma splice, we use the comma plus one of the fanboys, such as and, but, for, so, etc., or any of the other 3 correcting methods discussed above. Examples. Example 1. Because Ali is smart, comma, he gets high marks. We see dependent clause and independent clause. Okay, and we have a comma after the dependent clause. Part 2. Ali is smart, comma, a fanboy, he gets high marks. Okay, this is a compound sentence. Number 3. Ali is smart, semicolon, he gets high marks. Okay, the other one, Ali is smart, full stop, he gets high marks. So the last one is two sentences, while the other three sentences, each one of them makes one sentence. One of them is complex, compound, and also compound using a semicolon. So following is an exercise to apply the methods you have just learned for correcting run-on sentences, fuse sentences, and comma splices. So following is another exercise, and this exercise sometimes have a few sentences, other times it has comma splices, and we need to connect them and use the proper method doing that. In fact, we are done now here with the run-on sentences, and I would like to ask my students to go back to the book and do all the exercises, and mostly they have to check review tests. Thank you very much for listening, and I wish you good luck. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to call me. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. يعطيكم العافية.